Samsung's Unpacked event has just wrapped. During the event, Samsung unveiled 5 new products. The Galaxy Z Flip 4, the Galaxy Z Fold 4, the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, the Galaxy Watch 5, and the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. There's a lot to talk about with you guys. I'm going to walk you through what's generally new with each of these products and give you my perspective of what I liked and didn't like as generally an Apple fan, but by overall a tech fan. So let's try to keep things civil as we break down Samsung's Unpacked August event. Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here, and I'm going to start off with the Galaxy Z Flip 4. I'm going to repeat this a few times because a lot of Samsung's devices were not wholly new. There was a lot of refinement going on, which there's nothing wrong with that, but there wasn't anything overly exciting that jumped out to me about the Galaxy Z Flip 4 or many of Samsung's other new devices. With the Z Flip 4, we're basically getting a bigger battery life, a stronger exterior screen, and some upgraded cameras. The new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is running on a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor. They say they've increased the durability of the exterior display and added some new software features to it. That new display can now show things like a SmartThings widget to allow you to control your home. As a big smart home proponent, I love that they've added that quick access. Apple's added similar stuff with iOS 16 and home widgets, and it's really helpful so far in my beta testing. So I think this is a great new feature to add to that tiny display. Additionally, when you're taking a selfie, the image preview will be the correct aspect ratio as if you're actually taking the photo. It doesn't get cropped in to the display itself. You can also quick reply to text or access your Samsung Wallet really easily. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing as the Galaxy Z Flip 3, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They have refined the design a little bit. It's a little more squared off. They took off some of the rounded edges. It looks good. It feels and looks like an actual flagship device. It still comes in at $999. Moving along, that brings us to the Galaxy Z Fold 4. This phone did receive a few more design changes than the Flip did, I think. So first off, on the exterior display, it's about 45% stronger, Samsung says, which definitely helps as you're tossing it into your pocket or purse or whatever it may be. Additionally, it's about 3 millimeters wider, which it seems like a small number, but I feel like on that exterior display, it'll actually make a bigger difference in actually using that display. On the inside, Samsung has made more changes. So the screen itself has been redesigned to get rid of some layers and make the phone feel overall thinner. It may feel a little thinner when you're actually open and using it, but folded, it's pretty much the same thickness that it was before. On the inside, Samsung made additional changes. First, they started with the hinge. They took away the gears that they used to use because they couldn't slim them down much more and came up with a new design that they were able to get to be a bit smaller with still the same durability and reliability as the gears that they used to use in previous versions. Additionally, in their quest to make it overall thinner, they've changed the display, getting rid of a metal panel to make it a bit thinner than they did before. But in actual use, it doesn't feel much thinner, especially when it's folded. It's pretty much what it was before. It's still a hefty phone. It is definitely lighter than it was before, but it's a folded phone that doubles as a small tablet. You're not going to expect this thing to be extremely light. So I don't blame them for that at all. The interior facing camera, it's still a 4 megapixel camera, and the images still seem like they look pretty darn crummy, but Samsung did change the overlay of the camera so that it blends in more with the display. It doesn't stick out quite so much when you're actually using the interior screens of the Z Fold 4. Speaking of cameras, they finally upgraded the exterior cameras. This is a big upgrade. So the standard main lens went from a 12 megapixel all up to a 50 megapixel. Nice, worthwhile upgrade there for an $1,800 flagship phone. They've also increased the zoom, going from a 2 times to a 3 times optical zoom. Again, welcomed. That's what we're seeing on the Pro iPhone, so it makes sense that we see something like that here on their high-end Z Fold 4. Beyond that, they've also improved things like their super zoom feature, mega zoom feature. So when you're zooming in, you can take a preview and you don't lose where you are. When I was testing phones and using that like super duper zoom, you do sometimes lose where you are in the image as a whole. So by putting like a preview on that left-hand side, it makes it a lot easier to keep track of what you're zooming in to take a photo of. So really nice camera upgrades here for the Z Fold 4. Samsung has touted a lot of the software changes coming to the Z Fold 4. Basically, they're now moving to Android 12L, which has been designed for foldable phones. So we just have a more seamless user experience. Things like the taskbar has been moved from the side to the bottom and makes it easier to jump in between apps. You can pin apps as well as have your recent apps to more easily move between them. They've also worked a lot more with app manufacturers to design apps that benefit this odd aspect ratio and the folding design of the phone. So we should see a lot of benefits here from just the apps that are available, as well as the general usefulness and multitasking nature of the software on the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Otherwise, the Z Fold 4 has not changed all that much. It still looks and acts pretty much like it did with the last generation, and it still carries the same price tag of $1,800. So looking at this from an Apple perspective, I just like it. I think folding phones are cool, but not really using one for a daily driver. It's hard for me to confidently say whether or not it's more of a gimmick or something that's more useful. Sometimes I have a folio on my iPhone cover and it gets kind of annoying opening it up each and every time. But I don't know if I'd be okay with just the small screen on the outside and not having to open a foldable iPhone. I'm really interested to see what Apple does with this space. I just put out a video like 2 days ago on Apple's journey to a folding iPhone, and I think it's really interesting, and I really want to see just Apple's take on this and see if they do anything differently, because I'm intrigued by these devices. I think it's incredibly cool, both the flip and the fold. Samsung has done a great job at iterating on them, making them stronger and more durable. They still need to do things like bring down the prices a bit more, and maybe come up with a couple different tweaks from generation to generation. I feel people were let down with these 4th generation devices since not a lot changed, but still, it's incredibly exciting space and something very new for the smartphone industry, even though we're on 4th generation devices. Moving on to earbuds. I love earbuds, I love my AirPods, and I love testing third-party earbuds. And I've been a fan of previous versions of the Galaxy Buds, and the new Galaxy Buds Pro 2 have some nice upgrades to them. They have a bit of a redesign that still makes them pretty darn comfortable in the ears. They have a new grill on the outside that is larger to allow more airflow so it doesn't feel like your ears are kind of like stuffy when the earbuds are in them and there's like pressure building up. They've also really touted their new hi-fi abilities. If using a Samsung phone, you can get 24-bit audio. Using their own seamless codec, the SSC Hi-Fi codec, they're able to get this really nice audio quality, at least in certain apps. Things like Spotify don't currently support this high audio bit, so you're not going to get support there. But in apps that do, and you're using a Samsung phone, you can get this really hi-fi audio. Apple has been rumored to be working on its own hi-fi lossless audio abilities for new versions of AirPods. We expect to see new AirPods Pro later this year. Maybe we'll see it then, but it's really interesting to see. Everyone's kind of moving to this, and so far Apple's late to the game. Sony has been doing this with LDAC on some of its earbuds. Now we're moving to the new lossless or 24-bit audio here on the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro 2. Apple needs to follow suit with its AirPods Pro 2 later this year. Other nice feature of the Galaxy Buds Pro 2, SmartThings Find is very handy to have, so you can track down your Galaxy Buds Pro 2, whether or not they are in the case. You can track down the case and the earbuds themselves. Apple has had, Find My abilities for a long time, and they've gotten better with software updates that have allowed you to tie your AirPods to your actual Apple ID to prevent people from stealing them and pairing them with their devices, which is very handy. On top of that, there's this new auto switch capability. So you can actually use your Galaxy Buds Pro 2 with your TV. It'll just automatically pop up, similar to how AirPods do with Apple TV. But you can pair your Galaxy Buds to your television, and then you get a phone call on your new Flip 4, and your phone rings, and you can automatically switch over to that device. So there's no like dual simultaneous pairing mode, but it will switch between your Samsung devices. This is a bit of kind of a more of a lock-in. That's what Apple does, is the auto switching capabilities. You can move between any Apple device seamlessly, but then there's like the Google Pixel Buds that are offering things like being able to pair to 2 different devices, which don't have to be Samsung or Google devices. So it's a little bit more open in that regard, but I still like the auto switch capabilities. I love it on my AirPods, and it's neat to see it coming to the Galaxy Buds Pro 2. Let's chat about the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5. So the new 5th generation of the Galaxy Watch, again, not a ton of changes. So the first big thing here, which is crucial because I just had this with my Apple Watch Series 7, is they've improved both battery life and charging speed. So battery life is significantly improved. They were promising like 40 hours on the last generation Galaxy Watch, and it got nowhere near those numbers in actual usage. And Samsung has listened and bolstered the battery life here in the Galaxy Watch 5. Additionally, it can fast charge now, so you can go from 0 to 45% in only 30 minutes. Comparably, the Apple Watch Series 7 can go 0 to 80% in 45 minutes. So they're pretty similar. It seems like the Apple Watch can charge a bit faster, but I'm willing to bet that the Apple Watch has a smaller battery than the Galaxy Watch 5 does. So probably smaller battery in the Apple Watch, but it can charge quicker because there's less capacity. But either way, it'll be really interesting to see how long the battery life will last on the new Galaxy Watch 5. The other change includes a new sapphire crystal display to make it more durable and stronger. Apple's been doing stuff with their displays for a while. They're incredibly durable, but it sounds like Apple will be doing more to increase the durability with the next generation versions of Apple Watch. And then we have an upgraded bioactive sensor on the back. So the new bioactive sensor, it is larger and a bit more curved. This will increase the surface area that it makes contact with your wrist, allowing it to be more accurate. They're getting more accurate sleep tracking as well. So with your sleep tracking, there's new options to have personalized coaching to help you improve your sleep. The one new sensor here, though, is a temperature sensor. That's right, a temperature sensor. If you've heard me talk about it here on this channel, it's because there's been rumors Apple is working on adding a temperature sensor to the next version of Apple Watch. So I'm really excited to see how that works out. Samsung says it's very accurate no matter what the exterior temperatures are. It'll be interesting to see not only how accurate it is, but what you can do with it and what you can learn from it, whether it is from the Galaxy Watch 5 or the Apple Watch Series 8 coming out later this year. Finally, we have the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. This is the part that excites me because I think this is a very, very cool looking watch. So it's a titanium watch, still has the sapphire glass, comes in both a gray and a black color of titanium bodies, and there's a really nice new band to go along with it. These watches seem primarily targeting Garmin users rather than Apple Watch users. Even the best new features are targeting more the really high-end fitness watches like the Garmin. So one of those is the new ability to download all these maps. You can download these GPX routes onto your watch and take them with you, including turn-by-turn navigation, which is super handy that you don't have to rely on any cell connectivity or your phone to get that information. Additionally, there's a trackback feature, which is not something you usually see in smartwatches and even many fitness watches. Usually we see these in like multi-sport watches, but you can go out, do your workout, and find your way back when you're done without having to really worry too much about navigation. Just like how the Galaxy Watch 5 had improved battery life, they're promising 1.6 times the battery life here on the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Now, this is very interesting because Apple looks to be getting ready for its own Pro version of the Apple Watch. We've heard a lot of rumors about a redesign. It'll have a titanium body and all this other stuff that's pretty freaking cool. And that'll be coming later this year. So it looks like this new Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is going to be up against the Apple Watch Series 8 Pro and what Apple decides to do with that version of the Apple Watch. It looks like it could get some sort of redesign and all this other stuff to differentiate itself from the rest of the Apple Watch lineup. So how will these two compare? Looks like we're going to have to wait till September to find out. So what do you guys think of the new Galaxy lineup from their Unpacked August event? I think there's some really nice stuff here. I appreciate the design and changes to the foldable series, though there isn't anything monumentally transformative from previous versions of these devices. But I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Let me know down below in the comments or on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Let's keep things civil, folks, but discuss all of Samsung's new gear. Let me know, and I'll check you guys in the next video.